Stangibelisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations, here to describe for you a fairly well-known among old-timers way to track down sources of human-made noise, whether you can eliminate them or not once you find where it is, if you find where it is. A little bit of a different deal, but get a hold of one of those portable shortwave radio receivers, general coverage radio. They used to be quite common at Radio Shack, but of course now you can't just walk into a Radio Shack store and expect to find one. You may find one at a flea market, a ham radio flea market, a convention. You may be able to find one online. They exist because there's a demand for them. It's battery powered, and you listen to shortwave generally from the AM broadcast band all the way up to around 30 megahertz, in some cases up into the VHF range, maybe several hundred megahertz. But turn the thing on, tune it to AM mode so that you can hear the noise that you presume is plaguing you. Now, there may only be one source, there may be multiple sources, but you find it somewhere maybe around the frequency that you like to use the most, 7 megahertz, say. And you walk around, and you should hear it get louder and softer, and maybe as you walk around your neighborhood, it'll get louder and softer and louder and softer, which is not a very good sign because it indicates it may be transmitted along the power line itself and may actually be coming from a transformer blocks away or something like that. On the other hand, it may be a specific appliance, and we hope in your own house where you have dominion and not in someone else's house where you have to contend with their objections. And then you also hope that it's an appliance that's not essential. If it's your refrigerator or your furnace, you've probably got a problem, okay? You can shut it off and get rid of the noise and freeze to death, or go without refrigerated food. On the other hand, it might be something like a microwave oven, and then you just don't microwave your food while you're doing your ham radio, okay? You'd have to have your grilled cheese sandwich the old-fashioned way. Preferably not while you're doing ham radio anyway, but hopefully you'll be able to find the source of the noise. Then step number 2 is to see whether or not you can turn it off. If it's a compact fluorescent light bulb, you just put on some good gloves so you don't burn your fingers. Unscrew it until it goes out, and if the noise goes away, you know that's what it was. And you can take steps appropriately. But usually it's rather difficult and sometimes impossible to find the source of the noise this way. Sometimes, but not always. In the world of ham radio, we'll do what we can to make our lives easier. And that's a well-known, decades-old method of finding sources of human-made noise. And hopefully getting rid of them by easily shutting them off. Stangibelisco saying 73, which means best regards, and so long, which, in my particular troglodytical native fist, translates to da-da-da-da-da-da.